Max Verstappen. Now, let's talk about him for a minute. I actually want to discuss the fact that obviously I did a video before on the Formula E CEO, Jeff Dodds, coming out and saying Verstappen could not do what he does in Formula E. But that does raise the question. Verstappen is still, what, the first half in and around there of his career. He's got a long time left to go if he wants to go that distance. Where does he rank? He's already a three-time world champion. He's dominated. He's had the best season of all time. No matter which way you want to spin it, the highest points tally. You can look at the old way, the new way. I don't care which way you look at it. The only way you're going to look at it is Max Verstappen on the top. And listen, I'm not a fan of that because if I'm honest with you, I'm a Hamilton guy again. I said before. So it does leave a sour taste in my mouth, but it does make me think, how good is he? How good has he been? Obviously, people can talk about the car. The car is ultimately going to have a massive say in it. Verstappen was still competitive in a car that wasn't actually that great. But he's obviously dominated in a different way. The RB19 won 21 of 22 races last year. Verstappen winning 19 of them 21. Only 3 races he experienced last year where he wasn't top of the podium. That's an alien thing. That's just, I smashed the record and taking it way too far. I get there's more races, I get all that. But you have to understand the domination. And he's become a mix of raw speed and he's developed that Hamilton style as well. When Hamilton was raw and reckless, they changed their style. They went to more of a, I'm going to prey on you. If I'm behind you, I'm going to make you make a mistake first. And when they're ahead, you don't feel like they're going to make a mistake. That only comes with winning championships. It comes with just being the guy. And that's where he is at the moment. And this is his era. Whether it's going to last for another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, it's already had 2 years of pure dominance. And that is it. When you look at where we're going to go, obviously with the new regulations, it might change, but we can end this next couple seasons if it goes the way we pretty much expect it to go. And as Jeff Dodds alluded to, he's going to be a 5-time world champion. This is a different game. This is a whole different story. We're talking about a guy 5 times and still years left to really run it. We could see a first 10-time world champion. You don't know how Red Bull are going to go, if another team's going to make a run for it. But let's discuss something. Hamilton's on to 103 wins. That's a record that I think is easily achievable for him if he continues to dominate, especially if you're winning at 19 wins a season. It's just insanity. He'll be there within a few seasons and he'll be gone past it. I don't think he's going to repeat that level again, but it's not unnecessary like going to be the case. He might well do it because Red Bull are that good and he is just that good. As I said, it's raw speed mixed now with composure and ability to take your time and patience. That is just a combination that is always going to dominate, let alone with the car. But the RB20's got a lot to live up to. But let's look at his 3 main contenders and your 1 outside bet. Now, contender number 1, Charles Leclerc. I feel that's the obvious one. I think he's the one with the raw speed across a lap to easily take it to him. He's had wins before. I just think he needs a car to put it all together and he needs to learn that patience factor. Once he gets that, I think he can easily go on and become a multiple-time world champion. You've got number 2, George Russell. And that's if Mercedes can really put their car together. I think, again, he's got speed. He's got a little bit more composure at times, but he has this ability just to switch off, just to make a silly mistake, keep it flying, like he did in Vegas as well. Like just random things like that where it's just unnecessary. He needs to get out of his game. But he's had Hamilton in the last couple of years, when Hamilton's not winning, watching what Hamilton goes through his process and also trying to develop a car and understand how this car connects with me. He has to have taken that on board and really learned, oh, from one of the best to ever do it, oh, that's how you actually do it. And the third one, Lando Norris. And this one here, this is the one I want, because I think in terms of actual ability and everything as well, he probably stands the highest chance at all, because I think he's got the complete package and he hasn't won. He can only get better when he starts winning. And I think Lando, better, in a better car that's more competitive. Obviously, I think McLaren, they're getting somewhere with their car, but I don't know if they're going to take that leap to really be the dominant one. But if they put him in a car that's a title-winning car and he can challenge with Verstappen, don't be surprised if he becomes the guy. And I know I put him 3rd on the list, but that's just because McLaren has been so long since McLaren have been that team and able to put it there as well and really be competitive, title challenging as well. I know Ferrari haven't won in many years since 2007, obviously with Raikkonen, but they've been a team that's competitive, whether it's been challenging Red Bull to the closest or the Vettel era where they challenged Hamilton as well and Mercedes. There's a lot to it, and I think the outside chance is, the only one that you can really think of at the moment is somebody who's not even in Formula 1. Could be any young driver coming through. Spoke in a previous video about Kimi Antonelli. He could be the guy. He could really come in and take over. I think likely it's going to be someone that we don't see at the moment coming through. They could be 15, 16 realistically the way it's going. And they could be the one to take over Verstappen. But we don't know. But as it stands right now, Verstappen, if he becomes a 10-time world champion, there's going to be few people talking about it. And I think looking at he's now really pretty much got the next 2 titles. All do it. Touch wood, obviously no injuries, stuff like that as well, because you never want that on anybody. But unless anything freak happens or he just decides I don't want to do it anymore, the next couple of years I think are his. And then it's down to if Red Bull put together a car and he gets, what, another 5-6 years at it, he could easily take over the 7. So I think at that point, if he gets to that point and he takes over that title record and he is then either 7 or if he's 8, 9, 10, where do you rank him? Where do you think he's going to end? I want you to comment down below. Do you think Verstappen is going to become one of the greatest of all time? Do you think he already is one of the greatest of all time? And do you think he will become the greatest of all time? These are things, obviously, that we're going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to see what happens, but I want to know your opinions and what you think about it as well. Is there any other drivers you think we should have a look into and dive into what their potential is and where they can go as well? Comment it all down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.